Ukrainian troops counterattack destroy Russia's most advanced T-90 tank convoy at Frontline. Ukraine's eastern front witnessed fierce clashes as Ukrainian forces successfully pushed back Russian attempts to regain control in Klishchiyivka and Andriyivka, causing significant losses to Russia's state-of-the-art T-90M tanks. Geolocated footage showcases the resolute defense and strategic maneuvers that shifted the dynamics on the battlefield, raising questions about Russia's tank capabilities in the face of mounting losses. In the east of Ukraine, after Ukrainian forces pushed Russian forces from Klishchiyivka and Andriyivka and forced Russians to retreat all the way behind the railways, Ukrainians started gradually clearing the area and setting the ground for the next attack. Geolocated footage shows that Ukrainians operate deep inside the village and that despite the fact that Russians no longer maintain a permanent presence in the village, Russians are still trying to get their positions back. Another footage confirms that Ukrainians have been holding defense in the houses for multiple days in a row.
Запрыгуйте, запрыгуйте. Це бліндаж?
Recently, the situation got heated once again as Russians renewed their attempts to return control over the lost positions. The main Russian attack came from the east of the village. As the village is stretched vertically, by attacking it from the east, Russians attempted to stretch the contact line and recapture a significant portion of the settlement in just one push. Geolocated footage shows that Russians used the best Russian tank T-90M and several armored fighting vehicles loaded with assault units. Simultaneously, Russians started advancing from Andriyivka. Even though Ukrainians previously pushed Russian out of the village, Ukrainians still struggled to enter it because Russians established a defense line around 50 meters from the settlement right behind the railroad embankment. Recent geolocated footage shows how Ukrainians are striking Russian positions on the embankment, gradually undermining the Russian defense. The situation became very dire, which is why Russians sent here whole 3 tanks T-90M together with multiple armored fighting vehicles. Such a strong shift in dynamics seems to have come out of the blue. However, there is a good reason for it. Several weeks ago, the Russian High Command fired the commander of the 106th Airborne Division for raising the alarm about the situation in Klishchiyivka and demanding more resources. As expected, after he was sent on the so-called vacation in the heat of the battle, the Russian defense without support collapsed. Russians lost 2 powerful fortifications and 2 settlements behind them. Apparently, the Russian High Command understood that they made a grave mistake and recently returned Major General Selivistrov from his vacation, gave him more resources, and ordered him to change the situation. That is how the best tanks in the Russian arsenal appeared on this front in large numbers, and Russians reinvigorated their attempts to recapture lost positions. Unfortunately for Russians, it was too late. As Ukrainians already passed the main fortifications, Russian forces had no tactical advantage. When it comes to the Russian attack on Klishchiyivka, Ukrainians managed to rebuff it. Geolocated footage shows that the Russian tank got destroyed already on the approach, while the assault units that landed in the eastern outskirts got trapped there and eventually destroyed. When it comes to the Russian attack near Andriyivka, the Russian assault lasted even less. Ukrainian fighters from the famous 3rd Assault Brigade ambushed the attackers right near the village and completely demolished the Russian column still en route. As a result, Russians lost 3 tanks, T-90M, 2 armored fighting vehicles, up to 65 troops killed in action and wounded, and even the commander of the whole battalion. The fact that Russians are using and losing their best tanks in large numbers is a very good sign. As you remember, after a series of disastrous Russian offensive operations near Vuhledar and Avdiivka, where Russians lost a significant number of tanks, Russians started sending more and more old tanks to the front. Most of these old tanks did not have any modern equipment, and the only process of modernization that they underwent was being equipped with optics. Interestingly, last week there was a huge explosion in the Russian factory that produces optics. Russian analysts claimed that this was the result of the work of Ukrainian intelligence with the goal of halting or degrading the production of tanks. And if Russians continue losing modern tanks so rapidly, the problems will obviously get exacerbated. In our daily Frontline report, we pair up with the military blogger reporting from Ukraine to keep you informed about what is happening on the battlefield in the Russo-Ukrainian War.